Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. It's Monday. Who had a great weekend here? I know I did. It was beautiful here in sunny Florida. Very excited to have the one and only Mr. Thrive, Mr. Thrive Media, Chaz Volk on the show. We're going to talk about why is he Mr. Thrive? And we're going to talk about thriving and pivoting and all sorts of media stuff that you all know you need, even though you're afraid of it. So welcome to the show, Chaz. Thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me, Ted. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm just excited to kind of, get to bond with you a little bit, learn about you as well. This is exciting. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you. So let's take a deep dive. You know, everybody loves origin stories, so we're eventually going to answer that question: why am I Mr. Thrive? But we kind of want to know the journey on how you got there. So share a little bit about you with us.
Yeah, absolutely. The word thrive became a part of my life all the way back in high school. And without getting too much into what I was going through a lot of, personal issues. I was introduced to thrive because I entered theater. I decided to try theater, which helped me get out of the shell that maybe wasn't in my personality, but was in my mind. And it helped me kind of expand on the idea that there's so much in the medium of entertainment itself for me to expand on. So I've never really thought of entertainment as maybe film or performing arts. I've always thought of it as a very broad scope. It's very multifaceted. And I carry that term thrive with me today, to this day, in the sense of understanding entertainment as that very broad, faceted approach to art and entertainment. So what I do today.
What was it in the beginning? I have a question. What was it in the beginning when you said you found theater and that helped you kind of, grow, expand, get out of what you were in? What was it about theater that did that for you?
Theater is about love, and it's about loving yourself. And it's about loving yourself so much so that you put yourself in a place of discomfort, because people who don't love themselves only stick to comfort. And when you're on stage, it's not like film where you get multiple takes. If you make a mistake, you make a mistake. So you're about to embarrass yourself in front of at least 100 people if you make a mistake. But that's okay, because you're still learning something. And because you loved yourself, you put yourself in a position to learn something. That's what theater's about.
Love it. I think everybody's got to find that thing that drives them, speaks to them, motivates them, inspires them. And I've heard that from a lot of people, that theater or band or music or some form of creativity was what helped bring them out of whatever it is that they were dealing with or going through. So let's talk about the word thrive, one of my favorite words. It's thrown around a lot. It's one of those buzzwords that you hear a lot on podcasts and vlogs and things like that. What is your definition of thrive?
That is a fantastic question. I think thrive means to immerse yourself in a world that allows you to grow in significant ways. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm building a community, my own world, so to speak, full of artists and entertainment professionals like yourself, Ted, where people can, at this current moment, virtually network, but in the future, will be able to network in person and be able to be one with each other. So that is what I do. That's why Mr. Thrive Network, the Mr. Thrive Media business, is all this one thing through that word thrive, that immersion through this world that I want to build and take people on. Because
why is it important to take people with you? I love that concept, because a lot of people, they go into something and they've got blinders on and they're only looking out for their number one, which no worries with that. I get it. You got to pay the bills. But why take people with you? Why is that an important part of the journey for you?
Taking people with you essentially allows for you to have this foundation for success. No one ever was successful by themselves. No one ever established success by themselves. Think Ted, think of a random famous person right now. Anyone famous who has had any major contribution to history.
Movie star, Abraham Lincoln. Let's go with Abraham Lincoln. I don't know why that came.
Abraham Lincoln. Sure, Abraham Lincoln. I was thinking of presidents too. Okay, so Abraham Lincoln. he did not do his job alone. You know, he had an
Correct.
entire cabinet, and he had a nation divided, and he, you know, despite the war and everything, he found a way to end slavery, and he found a way to unite the country again. He didn't do that
Correct.
alone.
It's collaborative spirit. So you've got the
Right. Now, granted,
collaboration.
I am nothing. Yeah, I am nothing like Abraham Lincoln. That is not what I'm implying at all.
That's it.
But
Now you're going to be Mr. Abraham Lincoln instead of
no,
Mr.
Mr. Emancipator. No, I'm kidding.
I think what you're saying, though, is so important for people to hear, because a lot of times you have this idea, you have this thing that you want to do. And because you're so worried about other people knowing about it, you keep it to yourself. And your progress is usually slower. And it's also not as colorful or wonderful or deep, I think, if you don't pull some collaborators in with you. I mean, I believe we can accomplish so much more together versus apart.
I couldn't agree more. And while we're on that subject, I'd just like to give a few shout outs to some of the people that are in my life that allowed me to do what I do. First off, I want to thank my mom, my dad, Lori and Joel Volk, who have done nothing but support me in my journey and help me grow and help me structure a successful life that I can't even I can't even begin to explain like how many ways they've helped me in my life. But I will say this just to summarize it. When I needed resources, they didn't give me the resources. They put me in the place to make my own resources.
Nice.
That's the difference. So I'm very, very thankful for how they raised me, because I very easily could have been a very spoiled child. I definitely have a ton of privileges. I'm not going to hide. But instead of just giving it to me, they made me earn it. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for raising me to be the man that I am. I love you both, and I'm very, very thankful. I also want to give a shout out to one of my best friends, Izzy Salant, who is also my business coordinator and community outreach for my community. I want to give a shout out to the committee within that community, Matt Stoner and Christopher Malkus. I want to thank you guys so much. I also want to thank Selena Elise Fraga for being the editor for these podcasts that I produce. And I'm sure there's a ton more names, but I just want to start with those people, those immediate people who have helped me so much.
I love the expression of gratitude. I think that's so important. I wish we would do it more and do it live or whatever you want to do. Out loud is what I usually say. So kudos to you for that, because that is such an important thing to put out in the world. If you come from an abundance mindset and you have a grateful heart, sky's the limit, in my opinion. So let's talk about the community, because I think Mr. Thrive Media and your community is what you keep referencing. Give us kind of the lowdown 101 on how that all works.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Thrive Media right now is known for two things. Excuse me. It is known for its download of podcasts. Essentially, we have a network of podcasts that we have my podcast that encompasses all of the artists that are tomorrow's emerging artists, Mr. Thrive Stars of Tomorrow, which is actually very similar to this show in many respects. And Ted, I would love to have you on this show as well to learn about that.
I'd be honored.
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
Amazing. The second part of what we do is we host networking events. We call them networking parties for artists and entertainment professionals. And yes, it's on Zoom because we're all in a quarantine. But you know what, guys? It's not a Zoom meeting. It's a Zoom party. And let me tell you guys, it does not feel like a call at all. We have generally 2 virtual performances. We have giveaways that take place, and the breakout rooms aren't randomized. You actually get to choose them when you register for the event. Our next event, and again, Ted, this is another thing that you're invited to as well. Our next event is on December 15th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's holiday themed. More than welcome to come in your ugly sweaters. If you are celebrating Hanukkah like me, maybe you want to. I have like an ugly Hanukkah sweater that you can wear. Wear your Christmas hats. It's going to be great. We have some really great stuff planned, and we also have a very big announcement at the December 15th event that I know you're going to love. So can't wait to see you there.
So you get excited to have the collaboration. That's what I'm hearing. What is so what industries? Is it anyone who's interested in media? Is it
Ted, I think we're experiencing some internet issues. I'm not sure what's going on. Can you hear me? Hello? Ted? Hello? Can anyone hear me? I'm not sure if I think this means that I'm highlighted right now. I'll just go ahead and uh, speak. So yeah, I'm Mr. Thrive. Also go by Chaz, whatever you want to call me. Chaz is probably the more humbling name. Um, yeah, I'm really liking Ted, by the way. Ted seems to be a really great guy. I'm sure you guys have been following him. Um, about me, I'm right now living. I just sneezed on live podcast. That was great. So anyway, though, I'm from Oxnard, California, and it's really fantastic out here. It's great. Normally, I reside in Los Angeles, and we produce several podcasts. Actually, I mentioned my podcast, Mr. Thrive Stars of Tomorrow, but we also produce Small Bizcast about small business. We produce the Financial Roadmap. We produce Social Spice podcast, which I actually co-host. We produce The Road to Philanthropy, which is about philanthropy and charity. We have a few new ones coming out. We have Inclusive Screenwriting coming out, and we also have the Go-To Market Mindset coming out, all available on all platforms. The Inclusive Screenwriting podcast will also be available on YouTube. So get ready. Go ahead and subscribe to Ashwini Prasad's YouTube channel. That is Ashwini Prasad to get that. Otherwise, though, go ahead and subscribe to the other ones as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Ted, if you're there, uh, um, I don't know. Where's Ted, guys? I feel like this is a Where's Waldo question, right? But we'll figure it out. One thing I've become obsessed with during this quarantine uh, is my hair. And I know that sounds really, really arrogant, but I've never had insecurities about anything else regarding my head ever in my life up until I started growing a man bun. This is a new thing. I've never had a man bun in my entire life. When the quarantine started, all the hair salons, they shut down, which I think they're about to shut down again. And I decided to grow out my hair since there were no hair salons. And I eventually I hated the feeling of like the weight on my ears. So what I started to do, well, not me, but I asked my girlfriend at the time to cut my hair, and that was her first haircut ever. And she did not a bad job, I gotta say. Like she did an okay job. And then she styled it where it was short here and top here because I said, like, you know what, let's try a man bun. Let's go crazy. Let's go crazy. And she said, yeah. And then I started growing it. I started growing it up, and I had a man bun. I had an awkward ponytail phase, which I still do the ponytail from time to time. Sometimes it just feels better, you know. But now I get all insecure about my hair. So I want you guys to look at my hair, just how beautiful it is. Look at that line. Ooh, yeah. But yeah, I really have no idea what's going on. Ted, I do want to thank you, Ted, for having me on your podcast. Uh, you seem like a really sweet man, and I really appreciate you giving independent artists and entrepreneurs like myself a chance to be on your show. Again, if you're watching this, you guys can go ahead and check out. I don't even know if this is live streaming. Hold on one second. What's going on here? Okay, cool. So the TED show out. Okay. I don't even know if this is live streaming. Hold on one second. What's going on? Okay, so it looks like okay, so the live stream is working, which is it's great. So live stream is working. Okay, so we know that. We lost our host, and I feel like I've kind of hijacked the show. I have no idea what's going on. I emailed Ted as well, and he just disappeared. Oh,